So now we create our vegetation information and place it on top of our riparian profile. Before we start doing that, what we want you to do is to ensure that the horizontal scale is the same as the vertical scale. This is called the vertical exaggeration, and when the one scale is the same as the other scale, it means that your image is more representative of real life. So you can use a ruler, that's an option on your screen, and just measure the distance between 0 and 5 on the horizontal scale. Move your ruler then between the 0 and 5 on the vertical scale, and if it's incorrect, make sure you click on your chart and just drag down your chart until the distance or the height is the same. So 0 to 5 is the same as 0 to 5 down the bottom. Now we did have a white rectangle. Go and collect it and drag it down on top of our line again so that it disappears. Okay. Now we can insert our legends so that we understand what we're presenting on our table. Go to page 15 of your field trip booklet to the Riparian Vegetation Transect. And in the top right hand corner it has a scale for measuring species abundance called the ACFOR scale, and we're going to use that. So we need to create a legend or a key for it, and just like we did on our map, we're going to use a table. So insert table. This legend is going to be 3 columns wide and 6 rows deep. Again, we're going to drag our lines across so that we have a square for our symbols, space for our description, and our last one will have our data values in it. Our top line is always our title, so we want to merge those cells. We've done this before, so highlight the cells, right click, merge cells, and we may as well type in them while we're here. So home tab is always our typing and font section. Center it in the paragraph, type in key, and then we need to indicate what type of key it is or what it's representing. So on page 15 it talks about species abundance. So this is our key for species abundance. Our key also goes from most abundant all the way down to least abundant, down to rare. We're going to use colour to indicate that level of abundance, with the darkest of a colour being abundant and the lightest of that same colour being rare. We're going to use a circle to indicate each of these levels of abundance. So again, go insert shape. Remember that if you just click outside the box, it will just create a circle. If you click on shift and drag it, it will ensure that it always maintains it as a perfect circle. Now it doesn't have to be big. We're going to choose a colour. We're representing vegetation, so it makes sense that we're going to use green. Go up to shape fill, and because we're going to use 5 different shades of the one colour in our key, I'd recommend using the ones that are available for us. So we start off with our dark green in the fill and make sure our outline is exactly the same. Remember, we're going to do a number of these. So you can Control C and V to copy and paste. So our first dot, we pop inside our key or legend using the arrow keys to nudge it so that it is centered appropriately. Our second dot, we're going to recolor. So go and highlight it and go to shape fill and go to the next lightest color. Make sure we do the same with our outline. Again, we're going to click and drag it into our key using our arrows to center it. So you're going to keep doing this. Third lightest color, third lightest outline, click and drag. And of course we want to make sure our circles are appropriately aligned. 2 to go. And the last one, our lightest colour of all, which is actually quite difficult to see at times. Now, if you don't like those colours, you can change them. You don't have to choose the options that are available, but it's completely up to you. Now we need to put in our descriptor. So the first one is abundant. The second one is common, frequent, occasional, and rare. Move our line across because we don't need all that space. And the last one is our measurements. So it needs to be greater than or equal to 30%. Greater than or equal to is we can use a symbol. So if you go into insert, symbol, and you can see here, this is the greater than or equal to symbol. Just click on it and it will insert it. The next one is 20 to 29%, 10 to 19%, 5 to 9%, and 1 to 4%. You've now created your key, and all we need to do is move it onto our diagram. The best way to do that is with our image, we wrap it behind text. We can move that over. And that then allows us to move our key wherever we want it to be. Now, if yours does what mine's just done, go to Table Properties and make No Text Wrap. It will move things, which is a bit annoying at the beginning. But again, just click and drag them back onto your page appropriately. And you've got the capacity to move, you have the capacity to move your table. One would hope. So wrap text, yes, it's behind, that's fine. Now we just want to move our table around. And I think perhaps the best way might be to delete my border, move it to the position I want, and then recreate my border. Insert, shape, box, recreate my border around it. Okay, so we've still got the capacity to add another key, and we'll do that in a moment.